Welcome back to My Child and I, and we are looking today at exactly what is the role of fathers in raising children. And today is very special in our audience because I'm actually outnumbered. Usually there are many more women here than men, but today things are very different, and it feels good actually. And of course, to even help us to guide the discussion are three distinguished gentlemen. Mr. Werner Ray John, who is the president of MUS, which is Men Underpinnings in Kids. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
And of course, Clayton Springer, who's a reverend and a social worker. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
And Olademeji Olowu, who's going to allow me to call him Ola, who is the monitoring and evaluation specialist at UNICEF. Thank you so much. And of course, there's never a story more powerful than a true story. And we're very grateful to Alvin Green, who's with us in the audience, who is sharing his story. He's raising his two children on his own, so to speak, since his wife graduated. Let's take a look at Alvin's story.
My wife and I, we were together for about 17 years, and we had one child, Abien, and then we decided, you know what, she's so much joy, let's have another. And we decided to have another, but at about 8 days after Adara was born, that's her name, the second girl, there were some complications and Ali went off to be with the Lord. So now it's just Abien and Adara and myself.
But as Alvin faced what must have felt like his darkest hour, he also experienced amazing support from family and friends.
The grannies played an integral role and still do up to this day. Even my neighbors, she played a big role. Alison's niece, Sharima. What I have to say here is that Alison sowed a lot into people's lives when she was alive, and we are actually reaping a lot of that now. People are actually doing a lot more for us than we even expected them to do. So it's like almost like the children are being raised by myself and the neighborhood, just like in the olden days.
And while Alvin never thought for once of giving his children over to anyone, he shares that it did seem to be the expected thing.
It was brought up by different people that I would come across though, and at first it used to offend me. The questions would be like, so which granny is going to be taking the children from you? And so it was assumed, it was the natural thing to do. I have to give up my children to a grandparent so that they could be raised. So it was never, am I going to give them up to be raised, or am I going to keep them? For some people, it was, which one are you going to give them to? So I used to be offended by that. But I'm not any longer. So it was. I always thought it was my role, my responsibility. I'm the one to carry the flag.
As he finds his way in this new reality, Alvin admits that he does have some fears.
That I would fail them in some way, that I will not be enough emotionally, spiritually, and even guidance. There are two girls, so the guidance will be, and one is now 11 years old. So in areas like that, there is some fear, but I think the fear drives me to do all the research I need to do and ask all the questions I need to do and go on my knees as often as I need to go on them. So the fear drives me to do the correct thing, believe it or not.
But he is also experiencing some very special joys as he watches his girls grow, and has this advice for fathers.
What I would say to the fathers, there is that there's always more that you can give to your children. Even when you think that you've given all the emotion, you can give more emotion. When you think you're given all the love, you can give more love. When you think you've given all the guidance, there's still more you can give, you know, and you can dig deep and give the children exactly what they need and even more than they need if there's such a thing. What I think that we can do as fathers more is that instead, what I find that worked for me is that instead of saying no to all the distractions, and there could be many of them, Just say yes to spending time with your children. Say yes to when the questions come, can you do homework with me? Yes to, can you play with me? Yes, can you take me for a drive? And once you say those yeses, then the no's become easy on the other side.